Okay, the big tray mould is out, and I've got epoxy resin from Teexpert, and I've got some pigment, some new ones as well, from Create and Bloom. This one is Offshore Wave, and it is a pearl, so it's got like a lovely shimmer to it. This one's Forget Me Not. It's a very, very light bluey grey type colour, and they sent me Cactus Kiss as a free sample, so I decided I'm going to use this colour as well. It's very peacocky to me. And I've also pulled out blue interference powder from Resin. So, and I'm also going to be adding another colour. I've not quite decided yet. So I'm going to be making a bowl today, and I'm using my pourer thingy-wingy thingamabobby. We'll figure it out later. Anyway, I've got my cups ready, and yeah, let's see if I can do a successful bowl. Let's go play. And welcome to NerdGoblinart. I'm Lula. So, as I said at the beginning, I'm making a bowl today, and I'm feeling the blues. It's a very, very cold day in the UK. We're back to really cold temperatures. You may think ocean, I was thinking cold. So this is what I am going to be doing. This free sample that came from Create and Bloom, along with the others that I purchased, I looked at it, I was like, oh, that is gorgeous. It's tealy kind of colour. It's one of my favourite colours ever, but I don't actually recall seeing it on the website. And it's taken a little bit of jigging about just to decide and figure out if I'm happy with the amount of pigment in the resin and if it needs anything else added to it. So you got to make sure that these pigments are stirred in really well. They are fantastic, by the way, and I highly recommend Create and Bloom, and they do really good little sets. I've used them previously in a few videos on my cake tier, and also when we made 2 of the crocodiles just to compare their colours and see what they were like. So yeah, this is a really lovely colour, and I want to use this one all around the outside. I don't want any negative space. If you do happen to ever see my videos, my community page, I did post a video a few days ago of a lovely citrus fruit inspired trinket dish. I didn't actually record it. I was just having a play around with some resin. I love having a little investigation and play around. I don't always record, and I'm gutted that I didn't. But when I was playing with that, I didn't get the coloured resin to get right the way around the edges, and I didn't really like the negative space. So when I was deciding on this bowl, and the other bowl is more of a flatted style, this one I want as more of a raised sided bowl. And I think I've just added some of just a little dash of interference blue to that as well. Just to see, just experimenting, but I will be buying this Cactus Kiss as a proper pot because I think it's really lovely. But I do get everything all over my hands and love to make messes. So this is the new one that I also ordered. It only arrived just the other day. I was having a little nose on their website. They've got so many delicious looking colours. Yes, delicious. I know. It's a silly term, I guess, but as primarily being an artist as a painter, I love colours, you know, my acrylic paints and stuff. And this one, it just is beautiful. And it's a pearl, it's like a pearlescent sort. So it really does, it is such a gorgeous colour. And it spoke to me, darlings, it spoke to me. So, yeah. You need very little. You can buy them in sets, and I did buy a full set the first time I ordered from them. But on this occasion, I just wanted specific colours that I saw. The Forget-Me-Not, which I'm mixing in now, was specifically from the set that I bought previously. And I do quite like it. It's grey, but it's not grey, and it's blue, but not blue. But I do like it. I just like it. I can't say why. It looks white. It probably looks quite white to you, but I think is a really lovely colour. Now this is some white, it's almost like glitter dust, which I purchased from Mini Scenes GB, and that's Tracy. I'll link it below in the description box. I know that we all find it quite hard to find like a diamond type dust kind of glitter in the UK. There are a few. I think there are a few that people say is the same, but I've looked at that and I don't feel like they look or feel the same as what I see others using. I do have my Diamond Frost and I love it very much, but it isn't light. And this stuff, as soon as I opened up the bottle, it was like, ooh, it was in the air. You know, so I've added that to the Forget-Me-Not just because I do want a very delicate sparkle throughout it. So in my last cup, I'm just adding the Interference Blue, and I was just looking at my shelving, at my colours, and I decided on Sky Blue by Let's Resin. Now this has become one of my favourite go-to blues. It's only a small amount I'm using, so you know, bear that in mind. I didn't, you know, obviously the more you use, the darker, you know, it will kind of be. But look at that. Look at these different tones. They're just so pretty. I just wanted colours to complement each other and nothing that would necessarily take over either. Now, I've not used my debubbler. This resin is really pretty good, in my opinion. It's rare that I get or have any problems with it. And you saw that I used my Let's Resin mixer because I have mixed up 12 fluid ounces. Now this tray does take more than that, but because I want to form it into a ball, that's why I'm not doing the full amount, because it will be so thick it will be problematic to actually shape. I think in fullness it takes about 18 fluid ounces, but as I say, I've done 12. And I've just added a little bit extra of the Cactus Kiss, and I think, yes, and I do add a little touch more of the ocean. Offshore, not ocean, offshore blue. Such a nice name, isn't it? I think I was chatting to Lou from Create and Bloom in one of the premieres the other day, and I believe she said that her children help her name the colours, and I think that's really sweet. So yeah, so that's nicely mixed. I did have to wipe out my tray, so when you're doing things like this, have a look at your tray before you start your pours, because hair just comes from everywhere. And of course, when I opened the mica powders, a little bit escaped and it did go onto the tray, and that will show. So if you just leave it there and do your pour, when it comes to unmolding, you're gonna see it, and you know, you don't want to ruin it. So, and you know, use a wipe. I'm using big wipes, they're very handy. And I dabbed it with my kitchen roll. So, isopropyl alcohol, and to start off, I'm just using the Cactus Kiss. Mwah. See what I mean? Look at that colour. It's like almost peacocky to me as well. Such a lovely, lovely colour. So I wanted that all around my outside to give us the nice border. Now, when you're pouring these in, you do need to take your time, because if you go too fast, you will overflow it and it'll disappear over the sides that aren't your draining parts. Yeah? So just be careful of that and take it slowly. And of course, the higher you come with your stream, you're going to encourage your bubbles to pop on the way down. It's not massively bubbly, thankfully. There's a lot of little micro bubbles, but they're gonna pop as we go along. And as you just saw, using the isopropyl alcohol every now and again, and I will use my heat gun. So as you pour these in, you can see that it's taking a little shape as it's coming out, and I love that. I don't see enough people using these things. They're pretty cool, they're pretty handy. I found them on Amazon, and when I ordered them, they came in a set of 3 or 4, might have been even 5. I just looked, they're called flower pour cups. I thought it was something complicated. I just had a quick look in my Amazon box where I originally got them from months ago, and I will link them in the description box below. But of course, you can probably find them on like AliExpress or Temu. You know, go for it. But the link for me personally will come from Amazon, because that's where I ordered them from. They kind of look like to me, like, you know, the bottom. I think I said it in the last video I used them in. They remind me of the bottom of your bottles of pop. So, but they are really effective, and I do love what you get from them. It's like flower power. So you can see I'm alternating between the colours. It is so satisfying. In this electric dreamscape, I love colours, are just so lovely. I know, colours, yeah, but it's true. Aren't they lovely? Yeah, I was thinking summer, I was thinking it's cold, you know, cold type of, but looking at it, it is actually making me think of, you know, the summer and the sea and stuff like that. Hand in hand we trace a path uncharted. You can see, you know, you can eyeball it, you know, it's completely up to you how much of the colour you use in one go, and then when you alternate, you know, so it is just enjoyable, really. I did consider potentially, I did consider using a metallic, perhaps a gold or a silver. But I have found, and I do think it's the same when you use metallics and things like posters and balloons in particular, that the metallics do like to take over, although it will give quite a nice shimmer throughout, because, you know, the resin, as it warms up, it pulls in. So it's, you know, kind of, you know, the colours will mix a little bit. So with your metallics and, you know, your golds and stuff, you know, you will get that pull through. But I do think that they can take over a little bit. So I chose, you know, and my intention is, sorry guys, no extras on this one, because I was, after doing the Teexpert trays back before Christmas, I kind of knew how much I needed, so I didn't end up making up any extra on this particular, and I was just quite happy concentrating on this, to be honest with you. So another spray of Isotoyo. And if you really want to, you know, you could have, this can, obviously, if you watch my Valentine's collaboration, which is the video before this one, and this is the same tray mould I used to actually a tray. Oh my goodness, words, teeth back in. So, you know, if you come back to it, and, you know, after a couple of hours, just to, you know, for shaping it, and you're like, do you know what, this would make a nice tray. You've still got enough room in there to just maybe do a clear top coat with maybe some glitter in it, and to add your handles. You know, so you can make decisions then, really, if you want to change it up. You know, you don't have to do exactly, you know, you go with the feels, don't you? So all that's left is the Forget-Me-Not mix. And I was just giving it a moment to settle down into the mould and give my hands a wipe, because I was getting very sticky hands. Love resin, do not like sticky hands, even with the gloves on, do not like. So we're going to get out the last remnants of the Forget-Me-Not. And you can see it better here, can't you? The colour is such a nice colour. And I'm going to scrape out the very last bits. And I've decided not to speed massive amounts up of this as well, because, you know, if you're new to resin, it's nice for you to see the process. And I'm going to show you taking this middle part out as well. You just need to be confident. That's all. You know, if you're going to be, you know, if you're going to be a bit ooh about it, you will drop it. And you don't want to do that, because you'll mess up all of what you've just done. So just getting a good grip, just like that, and used my silicone tool. And it's closed up lovely. Now, it's up to you if you want to do anything else. All I decided to do was do a little swirl like that. When I did the citrus fruit inspired one, I did actually draw some lines through it, but for this one I decided not to. You know, almost like when you do a bloom, but I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to do it, not this time. So I was like, no, let's just leave the resin gods to his thing and see what happens. So just a little blast with the heat gun. And I thought, oh yes, and don't forget, if you're quite new to this, you know, eyeball, take the time to have a look for those little stray hairs. You know, I'm wearing a cardigan today, and you know, it happens. So I thought I'll put you on a quick speed up while I'm cleaning you up. While I'm cleaning up, and you can enjoy some music for 5 and a rest.
Resin flows on a hopeful side. Colors blend in a liquid dance. Trusting the chaos, taking a chance. Droplets fall like April rain. Will this craft bring joy or pain? Bubbles rise like whispered doubts, chasing dreams that scream and shout. Pouring resin, hearts in bloom. Will it shine or seal our doom? Fingers crossed with every pore, seeking beauty, craving more. Watch the swirls take their flight in the darkest, deepest night, hoping fate will weave its spell in the bloom where secrets dwell. Flecks of gold and shades of blue, wonders hidden in the goo. Will it set in perfect form or shatter like a summer storm?
So this is at a flexible stage, but it's not quite as supple. Is supple the right word? As I'd like it, but look at it. So this is the back. Oh, sorry, that's the front, and that was the back, and I am so pleased. Now, I thought I could just use these silicone cups just to raise it up, and quickly realised, no, that's not going to work. I was basically being lazy about going to get an actual bowl because I'd left it in another room. So I just nipped and got another bowl. Now, it was quite a hard push, and I did... Oh, this was a risk of splitting. It really was. I think if I'd come in perhaps half an hour earlier, I think it probably would have been at the perfect point. So here we go. Popping down. I think it probably would have been at the absolute perfect point for shaping. But I was distracted. I was watching a documentary. So it's not going to stay in. It is not going to stay in that space. So I was shouting at this point to Mr. Goblin to pass me a weight. So I needed something heavy. You know, when you're looking around everywhere and you're like, there's nothing here that is going to keep this down. So a piece of silicone in there. And I was slightly panicking at this point, so I wish I'd taken a little bit of extra care. But it's fine. So just a dumbbell. Just to start, and I was, hoping, praying that it wasn't going to split. So just having a little fidget around using my handicaps, just to decide where I was happy with the style typey, designy type thing I was going for. But at the same time, I didn't mind. It didn't need to be absolutely perfect either, because it's mine, so there. So this will have to fully cure now, and I do keep coming back to check on it in case there are any splits. I'll be devastated, but waiting game again. But here we are. I've already taken out the, obviously. So save all my cups, because these are good for using for mixing and all such as that. And the bowl, pop, is looking good, and it's solid as well. It's not going to try and repel or go flat. So that's the side we poured. And look, I'm so chuffed. It kept the shape, and I was surprised at that, because I don't know, it didn't seem to keep the shape as much with the cake tiers that I did, but I'm not sure if it's because there was like a hole in the center. Look at that. It is so pretty. I'm not sure if it's picking up the sparkle that's running through, because I can see it, but as I said, I didn't want to go overboard. I wanted it to be just pretty, but not, ugly. But those colours are absolutely stunning. I love it. It's so pretty. Look how shiny it is as well. That outside colour as well, I'm so pleased with it. The Cactus Kiss. So I am definitely going to order a normal pot of that stuff. So what do you think? I'll make sure that I pop anything down in the description box for you to, if you need or want to buy anything. So look down there in the description box. Thank you, subscribers. Love you and stay weird.
In a room full of colors and swirls, Nerd Goblin art draws a magic world, with foxes that prance and badgers that dance, a whirlwind of dreams with a single glance. Gerald the alligator grins so wide, in enchanted waters he loves to hide. Dragons breathe wonder with flames so bright, each creature born from a magic night. Nerd Goblin paints life in every brush, animals frolic in a vibrant rush. From canvases to tales they leap, in a realm where fantasy meets deep. The studio